Are you looking for information on New Braunfels? I've got 10 reasons to live in New Braunfels, Texas, right now. Hey everyone, we're in LANDA PARK, 51 beautiful acres right in the middle of town. So I'm gonna grab the camera and get some footage of this place, tack it on the end of this video, and so make sure you stick around for that. Right now, let's get to today's topic. If you're looking for information about New Braunfels, Texas, I have got you covered. Welcome to my channel, everyone. I'm Tony Freese, a realtor in the area, brokered by eXp Realty. Most of what you'll find online about Texas focuses on the big cities: Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. People are following jobs, I get it, supply and demand. But what if you don't mind commuting? Or you're retired and downsizing? Or maybe looking for a little more freedom? You don't need the headaches of a city, but you don't necessarily want to live in the sticks either. Well, let me highlight my hometown. I am truly living my very best life right here. My wife and I live in New Braunfels, Texas. Established by German settlers in 1845, it's now a resort town located in between San Antonio and Austin. It's popular because of the beautiful rivers and scenery. That's New Braunfels, not New Braunfels, as some people want to say. We have 2 full-grown daughters with families in Austin, and let me tell you, they are the perfect 45 miles away. Do you know what I mean? Suzanne and I have everything we need right here in New Braunfels, and I wanted to make a little video of the top 10 reasons to live here. I actually had trouble paring it down to just 10, but I did, so here we go. The top 10 reasons to live in New Braunfels, Texas. Now, they're not actually in any particular order, but I'm hungry, so let's start with number 10, food. You'd expect lots of food options in a town that attracts so many travelers and tourists, but you might not expect them to be so good. And some of the best restaurants are actually hidden away and enjoyed by locals throughout the year. In the historic Green District, that's the home of Green Hall, you'll find Mosey's and the Grist Mill, both famous for delicious food and ambiance. Just 100 yards down the road is the Green River Grill, with perhaps the best chicken fried steak in town. I know this because my dad and I did a chicken fried steak tour of the area once, and this place came out on top. A lot of great contenders. Barbecue is well represented, of course. We are in Texas. Black's, Rudy's, and Cooper's tops the list. Yes, we have both a Black's and a Rudy's. Downtown, amazing seafood is served at McAdoo's, a beautifully restored building that was once the city post office. And Myron's Steakhouse is a premier destination for special occasions. Of course, there's many tasty stops for a quick bite, such as Willie's Grill and Ice House, In-N-Out Burger, BJ's Brew House, and other familiar spots. Number 9, breweries and wineries. A new pastime for travel and relaxation is touring small breweries and wineries. Living in New Braunfels, you're surrounded by these beautiful and interesting destinations. The New Braunfels Brewing Company, the Guadalupe Brewing Company, Five Stones Artisan Brewing, and the Faust Brewery are already a part of this community, and more are bubbling up every year. The Grapevine in historic Green offers wine tasting daily from local wineries, and the Dry Comal Creek Vineyard offers fun events, wine classes, and of course, delicious wine. If you're ready to make a scenic drive through the local hills, the Texas Wine Trail includes 35 unique local wineries for a beautiful day of exploring. Number 8, fun. If anyone in New Braunfels asks, what can we do for fun? The answers are easy. There's rivers, lakes, music, food, museums, the Children's Museum, shopping, scenic drives, nature hikes, water parks, caves, caverns, gorges. Here are some local favorites: Schlitterbahn Water Park, Natural Bridge Caverns, Animal World and Snake Farm Zoo, San Marcos Outlet Malls, historic green shops, and the big and beautiful LANDA Park. More on that later. Number 7, festivals. Although New Braunfels attracts many tourists during the hot and summer time, many of the best festivals are actually saved for local residents. In the spring, the German traditional Wine and Sangerfest offers wine and beer tasting, German folk dances, games and gifts, etc. The 4th of July parade through downtown features patriotic pride and high school bands. Yes, the famous Worst Fest attracts partiers from far and wide each November, but the locals enjoy the best worst time during the weekdays when the lines are short, the beers are cold, and the music is hot. As the weather cools, downtown businesses host Wassail Fest, where each shop makes their own version of hot apple cider, some leaded and some unleaded. Residents vote for their favorite, and the champion is announced the next day in the local newspaper. And of course, the annual tree lighting ceremony on the downtown circle and the arrival of Santa on a vintage fire truck brings everybody back together for a little Yuletide celebration. Number 6, small town feel. Amazingly, this fast-growing town still has the charm and connectivity of a traditional Texas town. You will know your neighbors, shop in locally owned boutiques, eat at neighborhood favorites that only locals know about. It's a small town with a big heart and a rich history. Number 5, investment. As Texas becomes a desirable destination for those from other states, and families choose to raise their children in a more relaxed and wholesome environment, New Braunfels stands tall as one of the premier locations to buy homes. Thanks to booming tourist activity, local hotels, retail establishments, restaurants, healthcare, construction, and manufacturing, Money Magazine lists it at number 25 of the 50 best places to live in the U.S., with real estate prices paling in comparison to its larger neighbors San Antonio and Austin. If you or someone you love are spending your nest egg on the perfect home or purchasing simply as a lucrative investment, this community is gold. Number 4, music. If you like music, New Braunfels is easily the star of the Texas music scene. Green Hall started it over 100 years ago, and the hall still attracts national acts in an intimate, rowdy venue. Lyle Lovett, George Strait, the Mavericks, Willie Nelson, even Garth Brooks have made Green Hall home for years. Other venues pop up constantly and offer the same up-close and personal music experience. The Phoenix Saloon, River Road Ice House, Riley's Tavern, and even the historic Braunfels Theater host local and national acts. New Braunfels even has its own radio station, KNBT, that supports all the local performers. Number 3, lakes and rivers. Texas is hot, but you'll never feel it if you like swimming, boating, fishing, kayaking, or the most famous New Braunfels water activity, tubing. Canyon Lake, a pristine blue water lake only 25 minutes from New Braunfels, offers multiple public parks and boat ramps. The Upper Guadalupe River flows into Canyon Lake, then sends the sparkling cold river water down the winding path to New Braunfels. You can spend entire days floating between the historic cliffs and rolling riverbanks. In New Braunfels proper, the Comal River bubbles up from an underground spring and is the playground of locals and tourists. South of town, the river opens up again to Lake McQueeney, which also offers beautiful views, water sports, and beautiful home sites. Number 2, scenery. Breathtaking views surround this quaint German town on the cusp of the beautiful Texas hill country. The rolling rustic hills rise up from the west side of New Braunfels and offer a piece of paradise. To the south, lush farm and ranch lands host beautiful suburbs and wandering acreage for those who like a little more space. Take a relaxing car ride down the famous River Road, which runs alongside the river under a canopy of ancient cypress and oak trees. 2 rivers wind through town, so even if you don't have waterfront property, you do have access to peaceful riverfront parks minutes from any home. Now, before I get to number 1, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you like my video, that helps a lot. You can also subscribe to the channel, and if you're so inclined, activate notifications so you'll be updated whenever I post a new video. Number 1, location. Do you need a city but don't want to live in one? Like I said earlier, New Braunfels is perfectly positioned between the thriving metropolises of San Antonio and Austin, each less than an hour away. If you have business that requires a trip to the big city, you'll have easy access up and down Interstate 35. Then come home to your beautiful, quiet, safe hometown and make it by dinner time. Take your choice of international airports in both Austin and San Antonio, each offering quick commutes and almost every major airline. So, if you're still contemplating big city living, God bless you. You know Texas offers plenty of that. But I hope you understand that every little part of Texas feels special. Doesn't matter where in the state you are. Davy Crockett said, Texas is the garden spot of the world. The best land and best prospects for health I ever saw. By the way, the Alamo's only 40 miles from here. So that's it. What do you think, Jesse? Now, me and a couple of the grandkids spent the day at LANDA Park a couple of weekends ago. Check out all the fun we had.
Woo! Okay.
Wasn't that terrific? We had so much fun. Thanks for sticking around to the very end. Now, if you're planning on moving down here or anywhere in the surrounding area, shoot me an email. I'd love to hear about your exciting plans. I'm going to make more of these videos. In fact, I've already got one in the can, so check out the link there. In it, I discuss where you may want to live around here. Check it out. And also, don't forget to tell Alexa to play KNBT.